I don't know if my mic's working. Best. All right, we should be okay. Yeah, there we go. We're good. Random live tonight, and nobody's ready for this one, so we're just doing stuff. I was in the mood. So we're going to load up the intro video and get back when the party starts. Y'all hang tight.
Hit the chill back and you stand up, stand up. Start to move your body with your hands up, hands up. Rock it to and fro while they coming through the door. Now they leaning on the bar with the cans up, cans up. Hit the flow fast and you back up, back up. DJ got it lit, turn the track up, track up. Moving side to side, feel the rhythm start to ride. Now they stepping to the beat, never slack. Just how low can you go? Can you go? Can you drop it right down to the floor, to the floor? With a body like a demon, make the men start screaming. Then you turn to the crowd, let them know. Ooh, how far down can you go? Can you go? Can you lay it right down on the floor, on the floor? With the body like a demon and the men still screaming. Then you turn to the crowd, let them know, let them know, let them know, let them know, let them know. Lights turn low when they line up, line up. Shorty got the vibe, time to wind up, wind up. Everybody moving when the bass line hit, and the whole damn place gonna bind up, bind up. Bass hit hard and they jump up, jump up. Hands in the air, let it pump up, pump up. Moving left and right when the hook come tight. Everybody in the house shit. Just how low can you go? Can you go? Can you drop it right down to the floor, to the floor? With a body like a demon, make the men start screaming. Then you turn to the crowd, let them know. Ooh, how far down can you go? Can you go? Can you lay it right down on the floor, on the floor? With the body like a demon and the men still screaming. Then you turn to the crowd, let them know, let them know, let them know.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How's it going tonight, guys? Not many people here because nobody knows this was coming. So there is that, but more will show up. What's up, XYS? Slim, that's right. We figured you out last time. Slim says, I liked it. I love these songs. That's kind of what we're going to talk about a little bit tonight. I kind of got a thing I wanted to talk about. And if Bobby B happens to show up, I got some more stuff too that I want to show off. But it is what it is. So we're just doing stuff, man. We're just having fun. That's it. There's no metric, that I have to work around. I don't have a boss telling me what I got to do or when I can do it. So I decided tonight, random Wednesday night, that I wanted to talk about some stuff. And we're going to talk a little bit about, there is Bobby V. What's up, Bobby? Yes, Bobby's going to ask why. I was expecting it to pop up and say, why? It's not Sunday. That's his normal jam. Mr. Ray's in the house. You guys are all popping in. So, yeah, gobble, gobble. Yeah, he was out there with the turkeys. Yeah. The goats, milking the goats. Oh, yeah, it is gobble, gobble season too. So what I want to talk about tonight is what I've been working on, guys. If you don't know yet, I am on all the streaming services now. Pretty much, there's like 23 services. Pretty much everyone you can think of, car audio enthusiast is there, and that is me. So if you listen to a lot of this music, and I'm not singing most of this stuff. Like 99% of it, I'm not doing any vocals on it. And that's always, everyone asks the questions, how do you make this music? It's simple. It's AI, but that's the root of it. But beyond that, I do a tremendous amount of work on the music that I pull from that. So what I do is I start out like this. First, I write the lyrics for whatever I'm trying to create, whether it be a country style of song or a rap or anything. I write the lyrics and I get that all set up. Then I decide on how I want the music to sound. So I feed instructions to the AI, which is basically, create this style of music with this ambiance and this kind of thing, and don't have any of this and make more of that. And you give it a lot of prompts and you get it to create a song. Okay, the first 99 songs it makes are not going to be what you're looking for. So you keep trying to poke at it and prod at it until you can get what you're looking for. So let me explain that now and the way I reason that. If I had a live band in my room, okay, and I had a vocalist and a whole setup, and they had no idea what I wanted to play, I have to explain to them what I want, right? And then they're going to try to do it. Well, explaining to AI how to do that same thing is actually a lot harder because it's like using sign language through a soundproof room glass to the musicians to explain to them what you want them to do without being able to sing it or do anything. You're just giving them words, like giving them a written page to tell them to do it. It's so hard to get it to perform. But when it finally does spit out something that's workable, then I break it down into stems and I take those stems, which are each individual track, bass guitar, drums, vocals, piano, blah, 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 blah. It mostly splits those up pretty good. I put those into Audacity and I get all of those tracks working. I work into each individual track until I get the sound that I want from that track. Sometimes I have to take segments out, pull segments in, copy a segment, move it over here, sync it up with everything else perfectly, change the volumes of each individual segments on a track, change the overall track volume, put limiters on the track, compressors on the track, filters on the track. So I work each individual track. Then when I get to the bass, I basically I figure out what the bass notes are that are actually in the song, and then I take those notes and I use a chart conversion, and I lower all the frequencies down to a more suitable range for big subwoofers to play. Then I have to reconstruct that entire bass line, and then go back and inch through the song, lining up each individual hit and release of the bass notes with the specific spot that it needs to be in. And it cannot be more than about a 50th of a second off, or you hear it in the song. So it's got to be very precise. And then I listen to it. I listen to it again and again and again and again. I've already listened to it 100 times just getting it, created. And then I've listened to each individual track hundreds of times. And then I listen to the bass line hundreds of times, basically trying to nail down every single change and everything to where it's perfect. I run a bunch of filters through that. I stack all that up and I create eventually I output a single track. And then I take that track and pull it back into Audacity and I master that track down to a releasable track. Once I'm there, then I'm actually done with the song. So essentially, creating a song is not as easy as just saying, hey, make a so-and-so song. It'll spit out a song, but it's going to be garbage, you know? So there's a lot of work that goes into it. Now, you might say, well, if you don't play the instruments, well, what about people that play keyboards that have organ sounds or that have guitar sounds or that have, they're not playing the guitar, but they're making a guitar sound with the keyboard. All of these things, these instruments are just simplifying ways to create music. Then you have guys that are using mixes like the mix-a-lot kind of stuff, scratching and all that, and using samples of other music and stuff. What is music? Yeah, good point. So anyway, I have to go through a lot of crap to create something that works. And then after I do all of that, about 1 out of every 5 to 10 tracks actually ends up making the cut, and I end up getting it somewhere where people can hear it because I end up not happy with it. So it's a lot of work, and some of it never even sees the light of day. But the fruit of my labor, I'm going to show you guys real quick, And I got Bobby's work over here too. So we're going to talk about that. And he's doing stuff. Um, so this is this is actually Amazon, but I'm on Tidal. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Apple, all of the big stuff. We're on there, and we've got a presence. This is one of my little micro albums that I released, and one of the tracks. I'll play this first track.
Fog rolls in where the ridge turns black. Old moon shines still sitting deep out back. Copper pipes hiss where the night grows cold. Secrets in the dirt that ain't never been told. Bloodhounds howl when the wind cuts thin, warning every stranger not to step on in. Lamp and light flickers by the twisted pine. Ain't nothing friendly past the county line. Tracks in the mud where the boot prints stop. Echo in the hollow when the acorns drop. Folks go missing when they stray too far, and the sheriff won't look past his own backyard. Back in the woods.
See, I think it jams pretty hard. So yeah, we're doing things, and hopefully you guys are appreciating what I'm doing, because I'm working hard on making this a good thing. So let's see here. Let me go into the comments and start answering some of these questions. Okay, so Slim asked, "What are we doing on the other build?" Probably talking about the trunk car, the trunk build. We're going to do an amp rack soon. He's waiting on tweeters to come in, and then we're going to hook those up, and um, we're going to hook up the tweeters, and I'm going to do a bunch of tuning in there. But the way the amps and everything are set up in the trunk is all functionally fine. It's all electrically fine, but it looks like it's just not good. And I want to, and this is a really nice looking build. We're making this thing really have a little bit of a show element to it. I wouldn't call it a show car by any stretch of the imagination, but it's going to have an element of showability to it, and that's kind of what we're going for. And I want to redo that whole setup in his trunk and make it very specific to him, because he likes certain things a certain way, and I can make all that happen. I also want to leave him space in the trunk for his tool bag. He always carries a set of tools with him, a bag and a few different toolboxes, and I want to build that into the setup so that it has somewhere to go in his trunk. He's a very organized guy, and I want to help him make that organization part of his personal setup, make everything else look super clean. You guys are going to see videos of this. Hopefully, you're going to dig it. Hopefully, you're going to dig it. Bobby says, "Yo, Mr. Ray's in the house. What's up, man?" Let's see here. Who else is in here? Bobby is Slim. Slim's in here. Thanksgiving. Yeah, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I know. Um, yeah, I'm definitely walling off a trunk. Do I make any money off of it? Yes, on the streaming services. If you guys like buy albums or buy songs, I get 100% of the profit from that. So that's a good thing. It's an extra stream of income. But I've had so many people have been asking me, where can I find this music? Where can I find this song? Where can I find that song? And I'm like, I got videos, but they don't ever look. I mean, I've linked the videos into my information. They never do that. And and then YouTube, of course, those ads and all this stuff. So it's like aggravating a lot of times. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get this stuff up to like as many streaming services as I can, So no matter what streaming service you use, you can now, if you so choose to, listen to all of the music that I'm putting up there. I'm putting up a lot of bass centric music. And I'm going to tell you something. You guys are probably like, well, man, Rusticles and DJ Dirty Bass and, all these guys, they do all these rebase tracks. Yeah. But guess what? None of those, absolutely none of them are on a streaming service because they can't put them on there because that's not their music. They are rebasing it and selling it on drives, but it's not their music, so they can't put it up there. I am putting up music that is um, legit my music and serves the same purpose. It's also going to be friendly to copyright restrictions. Now, of course, if you may get if you do upload it on YouTube and use it on YouTube, there may come a point where you get a mail or something. I don't know how this works exactly. I will not push a copyright strike on anybody. I will not push copyright infringement on anybody if they're using it fairly in a video. I mean, like for demos or for whatever. Obviously, if they upload it completely as a song and then claim it as their own, that would be the only way that I would enforce a copyright. So I don't know how YouTube will initiate that, but I won't push that. So hopefully that's not an issue. So, yes, all of that stuff I just said. Pardon me. And W said, sup? Yeah, is it already? Is he a day behind or a day ahead? I don't know. I lose track of the guys down under. Uh, he's probably already eating turkey anyway. El Fuego's in the house. What's up, El Fuego? From the Pacific Northwest. I guess you guys are all off work. Got off work probably early today, or maybe you didn't have to go in today because people are crazy. And probably a good night anyway. It's kind of like a Friday night, if you will, because we're coming up on Thanksgiving, and we're all going to get down. Mr. Ray, the song I just played is called "Back in the Woods." It's on it's on the thing. I just saw that over on the other chat feed. I'm going down through the questions. What type of JL amp do I have? I don't have any JL amps right now. Oh, actually, I do. I have a JL. Shit, why am I saying that? I've got the 450/4. Yeah, 450/4. Had to think about that. Um, it's an old slash amp. Let's see. Bobby W explode. Everybody's exploding. The turkeys are going to explode. The turkeys are going to explode. Um, we're going from the Roland 808 kick drum, revolutionizing bass, to AI bass in 40 years. And actually, the AI doesn't create the bass that I'm putting out. That is fully 100% handcrafted. I create each individual bass note, the duration, the frequency, the slope that it comes on, the slope it goes off. It would be so much easier to play it on a bass guitar. I could play it easily on a bass guitar, but I wouldn't get the result I'm looking for on a bass guitar. So I create it individually by hand, construct each note by hand. It's a lot of work that goes into that. So I'm kind of doing something similar to what like Bass Mechanic and those guys did, except more musical than what they did, and also up to date because a lot of that stuff was like high 30s to low 50s bass music. It wasn't really where we are today with the low frequencies we're playing. So it's kind of out of date. It'd be hilarious to have to rebase Bass Mechanic. You know what I'm saying? Now, that might actually be fun to try to rebase Bass Mechanic songs. Bobby is definitely going for Clanwire champion. Let's go back over here and look at some stuff. Let me go and pull this screen back up over here. So I had these both up together. I'm going to skip through here and show you some stuff. Bobby is using the Dean's ruler, the 5-star ruler. In fact, you can even see it right there. It's got the 5-star on it. That's his ruler. So he's using their ruler and with with C clamps. He don't want that ruler to move any at all. He's not playing. And he's measuring out. And he noticed he missed one right here. I'm not sure what he was doing there, but I caught that. I was like, "What's that? What's going on, man?" He's, but he's laying this shit out tight, dude. And then like this. Look at this. Is that not? I mean, it really is. It's like you go, well, that's just so crazy to use that many zip ties. But if you look at it, you go, wow, it's just mesmerizing to see it. And if one of those zip ties was off a half an inch one way or the other, it would just throw the whole thing off. It has to be spaced that perfectly to give that look. And that's just really cool. So yeah, Bobby's on top of his shot. He's doing really cool stuff. And that was apparently him working on this mess. So if y'all want an explanation on that, you're gonna have to ask Bobby. I don't know what he was doing with this, whatever that machine is, but he was fixing that. So Bobby's a busy boy. Lots of B's in this whole statement. Um, let's see here. Winner so far, hell yeah. Um, is it true that bass is 3 dB louder in the southern hemisphere? All right, I know you're bullshitting, but I will elaborate on something I think might be interesting. El Fuego is always dropping some silly crap on me. Um, technically, bass would be louder if you were in a hole. Like if you went down into a really deep, like in a cavern, like or down in like the Grand Canyon. The further you get, the more air you have on top of you, the more dense the air gets, the more air pressure you have, the more volume you get. So, you know, it's as silly as that sounds. Um, if you're at sea level, you would have louder sound pressure than if you were on top of a mountain. So, depending on where you are as far as sea level goes, it could actually change the amount of sound pressure that you make. So there you go. There's a there's a little bit of truth to that silly statement, Mr. El Fuego. I appreciate that, Mr. Ray. Um, yeah, it's on Tidal. It's on Amazon. Um, it's on Tidal. I mean, like I said, all of them, all of the ones that you can think of. There's like 23 different streaming services. I make no bones about what I do, what I create. I use AI to create it. I use AI to play it as my band. Um, I compose it. I get it as close as I can. I try to get AI to play what I want them to play, and then I make it do the stuff it won't do. Sometimes I have to start out with a seed. So I'll literally create a beat and create a bass line, then feed that into AI just to get it going down a certain path. Um, and playing, like give it a steer it in a certain direction so that the band goes, oh, I get it. We got to do something like that. And then it kind of follows along. So there's a lot of cool, crazy stuff you can do, but learning to use the AI has actually got quite a large learning curve to get anywhere good with it. And then you need to learn to do the prompts properly to be able to get responses you want out of that. Then you have to learn to mix and master music, and there's a lot of shit. I mean, it really is a lot to it. The AI does give you a tool that you can use to actually get past having a full band to play instruments for you. But that's really the beginning of the process. Uh, see, Bobby said Fuego's fire. Um, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Um, I got you. Backwoods. Oh yeah. There's a couple of tracks on. I mean, this is just one of the albums. I'll play you guys a couple of more. So give me a second. Let me go back here. I'll switch over here. We'll look at Bobby's machine there. And this is my main page. I got the werewolf song on here because so many people wanted me to put that on there. This is a good one here. That's a good one. Bass Machine's a good one. This one I just got done with not too long ago, and I like this track. This is my theme track for my Tahoe.
The bass machine. Paint looking good, and under the hood, the beast is ready to roar. Two alternators, big power wires run clean down under the floor. Back in the rear on my bass headgear, stacked up, ready to go. Trunk thunder lithium, slap Sam slit, gonna let that thunder roll. Got a beat pillar wall made thick and tall, 415s making it pound. Audio dynamics, DSP controlling every sound. When I crank it up, the sky turns black and the thunder starts to roll. Then the wave hits hard, the concrete splits and the music takes control. Bass machine, bass machine, bass machine.
So if you're on Amazon, you just go right down here, buy a song.
Roll into the show, everybody knows the Tahoe shakes the ground. Crowds gather round when I drop that sound just to feel that heavy pound. Doors start to flex, every panel shakes, hair lifts up in the air. Kids hold their phones while the pressure grows and the wind blows everywhere. Meters start to climb, numbers hit the red, the score begins to rise.
And go through the process just like that.
Attacks with the pressure on their eyes. When the demo drops, the whole block stops, feel the rumble through your bones. This machine
And I've got some crazier stuff too if you're into rock and roll kind of stuff and you want bass that rocks out. I say rock and roll. This is a little bit, well, you'll see.
Even in the dark. Moonlight dripping on a midnight road. Cold breath rising where the shadows go. I move silent like a whisper on your neck. You take one step back, too late for that. Face off, glisten in the alley's haze. I've walked this hunger for 1,000 days. Every fear you've got, I tasted first. I smell your pulse, I feel your thirst. Red eyes glowing in the dark, I stalk. You hear my footsteps in the gravel walk. Heartbeat thumping like a...
Guys, there's a lot of good music here. But I wanted to have a variety, so that was my objective. Was to create something that you could find something in there that you liked, for demoing or just dropping tons and tons of bass, having fun, but doing it a little bit better. Let's see here. All right, what's he got to say here? I want to hear this. This is an echo chamber of egotistical losers that try to compensate for the insecurities by playing their music so loud that the rats can hear the distortion from the sewers. AI is for the talentless. Awesome. Awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. So anyway, what's the best Thanksgiving dish? Man, pork chops. Fried, batter fried pork chops and chicken dressing. How about that? Y'all like that idea? I ain't a big fan on turkey. Turkey's all right. I mean, turkey's just really dry. No matter how you do it, it's always dry. I mean, I like the white meat on chicken, so I guess I should be, if you fried turkey, that probably helps because then it's fried, and fried is always going to have some juiciness to it. Anyway, I'd rather have a pork chop. Good old fat, big old fat chunks of pork chop. Yeah, that'd work real good for me. I'm all about pork chops are good all the time. Let's see here. Tacos. Yeah, here's the thing. I respect opinions, uh, so I get it. Not every conductor can play every instrument in his orchestra. That doesn't mean that the conductor doesn't have talent. It's the world is changing. It's simple as that. Whenever someone designs a car these days, they go, "Hey, AI, design a car," and then they still get credit for that design when they get done because they have to go back in there and pick it apart and make it perfect in the end. AI does everything. Everything that you see, everything that you touch has been for the last really 15, 20 years has been directly impacted by artificial intelligence of some kind or another. Whether it's script based or not, it's still a computer that's doing the job. I mean, do you think the guys could have flew the rocket to the moon without a computer controlling all those little tiny spurts of gases coming out of there? Um, None of that stuff would happen without that. So, you know, what you think about what creativity is depends on what generation that you came from. People that are born right now will never know a time that AI did not exist. And to them, creating something using AI is literally just as awesome as anything else. So I don't know, man. I'm enjoying it. I've got a big creative bone. I was always really good at writing lyrics and I really knew what I wanted stuff to sound like, but I don't have a band to work with. So I've been kind of stuck just trying to, play it on guitar, but it don't always work. I'm not the best guitar player. I'm not the best vocalist. So I needed some support, some people underneath me to do that. Well, now I don't. I can get the creative talent that I've got in there out. The stuff that I wanted to make can now be made. Same as using a 3D printer to print something out, or any other a CAD machine or any other thing that runs a set of programs, a set of it's the same basic concept. Um, so yeah, I mean, I just wanted to talk about this because I felt like it was something that needed to be discussed. I understand the viewpoint of people that are like, well, man, if you're not going to play, they're replacing band members are getting replaced. Freaking dude, but that's everybody. Like like pretty much every job is going to get shut down by AI. It's just infinitely better. And it will be infinitely better than doing any other person doing those jobs. It will be. So this is the way society is going. It's the world is changing, and it will continue to change. And it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. It's going to happen. You can either get on the train or you can just get run over by it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely happening. It's happening because money. What do you think is cheaper, to hire 5,000 people to answer the phones or to hire one AI to do it 24 hours a day that doesn't cost you, after you buy it, it doesn't cost you anything? I mean, what choice would you make? To pay 100 people or 1,000 people or just have an AI do it and actually get get things right, not be rude to people, be able to take the abuse and all that stuff. Like, no matter what job it is, an AI is going to be able to do it eventually better than anybody else is going to do it. It's just the way it is. Um, Trump, the real liberator. So I got a fifth generation Forerunner and was looking to do mids and highs. Saw you had some Gale Force 6.5s. What do I recommend for 6 speaker setup and 2 tweeters and 1 sound clean? Gale Force are 100% some badass drivers. If you're going to put them outside, you said you got a Forerunner, blah, 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 blah. You didn't say anything specific about weather, but if you're going to put the drivers outside and put them in the weather, those Gale Force freaking coaxials are nasty good speakers. They are nasty good speakers. Amazing drivers. They're actually built by Sundown. They're built in a quality built house, and they were designed mostly by Sundown. So, you know, you're getting all the good stuff, right? They're great drivers. If they're going to be inside and you don't want to spend a ton of money, or if they're going to be protected from the weather and you don't want to spend a ton of money, Slaps Audio, the 6.5s, really get loud and they handle power extremely well. They're a very, very beefy driver. And the 3.5 inch, uh, the 3.5 inch super tweeters from Slaps will fall right in beside them. And you can build a wall of those things super cheap. Be sure to use discount code CAE. If you head over there, you'll save money off your purchase. But yeah, those are my recommendations. I would totally recommend the Gale Force, especially if you're going to be outside. They're pricey for inside though, and we can do similar work out of the weather with the Slaps for about a third or a fourth or a fifth of the price. So yeah, I can't really recommend them against Slaps for stuff that's not out directly in the weather. But the Gale Force ones are literally waterproof. You can put them on a jet ski. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what you're trying to do. Um, they're amazing drivers. Let's see here. W said, "Got you join YouTube today. Funny that." Yeah, isn't that amazing how that works? I love those. I love those guys. Love the bass tunes. I listen to them all the time. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Oh, Bobby, that wasn't a shout out. That was a rec. That was a, I was just showing your stuff, man. You're the one that does. You're the one that does the work. You're the one that puts in the work. It's like Stu. Stu's the one that puts in the work. I mean, all I have to do is talk about it. You're the one that did it. Um, you're the one in the trenches. So I have nothing but love and respect, man. Nothing but love and respect. When we're doing stuff like this, look at this. This is beautiful. I mean, I still have this up here where I can look at it. I almost want to make that a desktop background. I mean, that's gorgeous work. And it's all the details, all the tiny details that you think aren't going to be important that make the difference whenever you're doing stuff like that. All the little stuff that would normally get sunk under there and no one would catch it. Those are the tiny things that make it look cool. You don't want your eye to get drawn to a specific thing. You have to make it look like it belongs there so your eye just escapes over it and then only focuses on the symmetries of stuff and not anything that stands out. And that's what Bobby's been doing. He's doing great work. Let's see here. You're very welcome, Trump. Can I use different brand alt gauge wire for my dual runs? And do I need to fuse cable from the alternator to battery? You need to fuse any wire that's running away from a battery as close to that battery as you possibly can. You don't necessarily need to fuse from the alternator. That's not really, because when you turn the engine off, the alternator stops. However, if you're going to run a long run from the front of the vehicle to the back, I recommend, and I do, fuse right close to the alternator and then run the wire all the way through the vehicle, and I fuse again close to the battery. So the rule of thumb is you want to put a fuse as close to anything that makes power as you can. And so if you got a wire running from one battery in the front to one battery in the back, you have a fuse at both ends. And you want to fuse the wire, not the whatever. So if you're running a single run of alt gauge wire that's like 15 foot long, you want to run maybe a 300 to 350 amp fuse on it. It don't matter what you're going to pull through that wire. It matters how big the wire is and how long the wire is. That's what dictates your fuse size. So if you're going to be pulling 600 amps from the front to the back, you want to get two runs of alt gauge and then run two 650 amp fuses on each end. Right. So you want to size the wire to support the load that you're pulling, and then you size the fuse to protect that wire, each individual one. What's up, James? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had. Yeah, I know who you are, but I hadn't met you that I can remember. I'm doing all right, man. I'm trying to keep it together. You know, have fun, do fun things, um, and not get too caught up in life and too jacked up because some stuff is messed up, man. I'll show you guys another track. Now I don't just have bass tracks on here. I've got a couple other things too. So this is another one that I wrote.
Me and the old man climbing up the creek bank with a string of fish. Had to get our stories straight. I can smell the creek mud. Summer sun is beating down. Memories are so strong. Feel it on my face. I remember fireflies floating in the summer air. Ran the woods without a care. Never thought it in. But I had to hurry up. Had to start growing up. 'Cause I knew everything was just round the bend. The fire we go through forges the metal. The pain makes us tough as a stone. The road we choose will be on forever. But that old driveway always leads back home. I remember racing cars, fake IDs and smoky bars, running with a crazy crowd, ending up in jail.
Y'all know you went through that.
Still recall the bad ideas, all the stupid things I did. If I could do it all again, looking back is hell. Drinking hard late one night, broke into a fight.
Yes, I have all sorts of music over here. There's some these right here are a lot of work went into these. I'll cover your question here in a minute, man. I am paying attention. Check this one out. This is a driving tune.
Just punched the clock, pulled off the yard. Got 79,000 on the cat scale card. Full tank of fuel, sun's going down. Got the hammer mashed heading out of town. I'll run all night, come on light. I'll be on the dock waiting my green light. In a few more hours, break will be done. But I won't see sleep till I do the next run. The electric log, dispatch watchdog wants me to run. Rain, snow, and fog, it wants me to speed. Don't need sleep, fail my brake if I try to creep. Gotta drive when I'm tired, stop when I'm woke. Can't park at night, cause parking is a joke. Can't find the time just to stay alive. From dusk to dawn, I'm living in overdrive.
Now y'all know that you're rocking out with that. You can't not be, man. Uh yeah, baby, that's a good track. It's one of my faves. All right, so Chris's son. I'm horrible with names, and I've had so much interactions, and I apologize when I forget people. When I see you again, I remember you, and that's about the best I can do. My old man brain, just don't work all that well. um, but uh, but hey, I am alive. Um, yeah, I know I met you. I know I did. I can remember it, but I'm just pulling a blank, and I'm sorry. Um, Making great money. Can you recommend RCA cables for short runs? Absolutely. Give me a second here. I can 100% do that. Uh, Bear with me just a second and I will get the actual link to it for you. Because I have found some really good short run cables. They're from Seismic Audio. Let me go in here. Yeah, that's not it. Hold on. Where am I going? Come on, get on down here. Let's get on over one more deal. Oh yeah, great. Come on. I got to use a different little trick here. Buy again. Find them that way. I'm going to have to minimize this, maximize this. Okay, that's one. So there's two different cables. I'll show you both of them. And they're both really cool. So let me get over here and pull this screen up again. Maybe this will work. Probably. Oh, yeah, actually, it's actually showing. All right, so these guys right here from Cables Online are really good cables. And I like them. They're nice. They're my favorites though are the seismic ones, and I just got to find where they are. Let me see here. I bet you they pop up down here. Yeah, there they are. So these are my other favorites right here. The seismics. So you got the seismic ones here. The yellow, the black, the red, and these barrels. If I pull one of them up, these are some long ones. These barrels right here, you can actually screw those off. So if you get the seismic ones, you can turn those little gold barrels and screw those off. Screw it back a little bit and put just a tiny drop of red. What's it called? The stuff that you put on threads to keep it from backing off. That stuff, Loctite. Put just a tiny drop of that red on there, just a lightweight or a medium, and screw it back on because they'll sit there and vibrate. If you have something vibrating, they'll work their way back. But these things are extremely good at noise rejection, and they look real good in short runs or in long runs. They're nice and thick, so they lay out well whenever you're building up an amp rack. They shape well, and that's why. And they just look really good, and they're performing great in my Tahoe right now. These are long ones. So what are these? Oh, these are 3 foot. What am I? Oh, it's a 2 pack. Okay, yeah, I got it. So you get two. You get exactly what you see in the picture. You get two of those double sets for like $30. So they're priced good, and and they perform well. Um, let's see what else you guys. Bobby said I can't do country. Let's see here. Remember nothing. Um, no, I have, like I said, I have a little bit of everything. I have, I do everything from like a metal oriented stuff to kind of rap stuff to a more non music that you really can't put into a genre, and a little bit of country stuff. I have a mixture. Because everybody wants different stuff. You might say, I want some bassy country music, whatever. So I try to create a kind of a variety. Plus, I get in the mood to do something, and that's what I do. Uh, and it's a really great outlet for me. You know. You guys have any more questions you want to hit me with, and I'll answer them. I am surviving though. I've gotten better. My overall my chest is cleared up. The infection that was in there is gone. So that's a plus. Um, and I'm happy. I'm happy with that. By the way, those seismic RCAs, basically what those are for is like uh, patching for musicians for patching equipment and stuff. So since they're dealing with a fairly low signal, they have to have really good noise rejection. And that's why they work so well for what we're doing because they're designed to have like the signal coming from a guitar, which is a tiny, tiny, tiny signal. in an extremely noisy environment with all the other equipment around it and protect that signal. So it's got to be a very good shielded cable to do that. Uh, Resonix RCA's. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not about trying to spend crazy money. With those seismics, you can get them from like 8 inches to like 15 feet or something. So it's like 8 inches, 1 foot, 2 foot and a half, 2 foot. I mean 3 foot. It's the sizes are close enough to do any setup you got. If that's not enough, you know, uh, lengths available, and I don't know. But yeah, you can absolutely build your own, and you can also there's companies that you can go and design the cable you want, pick out all the components of the cable that you want, have them build it for you, and then they'll send you the damn thing. You can pick out the exact length and what type of this and that and all the different materials, and you can even do customized stuff like have your logos printed on them and shit. But in that case, you're probably talking about doing orders, big orders. Oh, here we go with that again. Hang on a minute. The sneezing has begun. Uh, but yeah, you can absolutely do custom stuff. I got my screen fixed, by the way. I got me a new monitor here. I want to show it to you guys. Hang on a second. Let's see. I'll show you my I'll show you my screen. Oh, I can't. The damn camera won't come that far. Now I messed up and caused something to go wonky. But it's right over there. It's just a cheap panel, but it's a big one. It's like 27 inches. I like big screens because my eyeballs don't work very good anymore. But this was just a little run of the mill, quick live show. Of course, questions will always be answered if you guys throw them at me. But I wanted to cover what I'm doing and talk about it a little bit because I didn't talk about it in the last live. Um, this is just something I wanted to get out there. I've given it a lot of thought, and I feel comfortable with it. So, if you guys want to check out the music, you know where it's at. You can find it on all the streaming services: Tidal, Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, and a whole bunch more that I don't even can't even remember. But for now, guys, I don't have the duck queued up. Uh, why don't I have the duck queued up? That's a crying damn shame. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all let me know what you think about my format that I got going on. Did I change that up a little bit?
Out here banging up and down the street, slamming it to the ground. Big subwoofers are getting loud. You can feel the booming sound. Getting ready to go. Got it shined up for the show. Hours charging,
Like this.
amps are amping, gonna let
Y'all
the
like that
woofers
better?
blow. Another
that?
one bites the dust.
Or do you like that better?
Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. We got more at home. Another one bites the
I
dust.
kind of like the cleanness of that. That's pretty cool.
Wires are glowing and the amps smoking. Subs are cherry red. Let me keep jamming, gotta keep the bass slamming. Gonna go hard till they're dead. Full power, gotta let it go. 20 hertz in the floating air. Sparks are flying, voice coils are frying, and the smoke is in the air.
Most important thing, guys, is have an amazing Thanksgiving. And if you don't get back before the holidays kick in, you know, I'm gonna say something. I'm just gonna go back in here. I got to talk about this. Um, Life has a tendency to become more important than the things that you call life. Has a tendency to become more important than your family, and then your. And now, when I say your family, that doesn't mean it's your blood kin. It means the people that are in your life that exist with you on a daily basis. Um, Nothing in your life, absolutely nothing in your life, is more important than the people that are in your life. Never make that assumption. No work, no business, no nothing is more important than being with your people and spending time with them, because ultimately that's why we're here. That's what we're here for. The other stuff is a means to an end, but if you don't stop and take it in, wrap your arms around the people that you love and talk to them, and you're going to regret it. It's going to eat you alive. There's going to come a time where it's going to eat you alive. So take the time to make friends, be around your people, and spend time with them. That's the most important thing that you can possibly do in your life. Everything else comes way down the list. Show that love. Y'all have a good night.